All right, so we'll give you a shop update of what's going on in our world at the moment. As usual, lots of supercharger kits going out. We've got the Rocket 3 forged pistons in to go with the supercharger kits now. So we've got 8 sets of those. Got some cams in to go with the guys who want cams. They're on an exchange basis from Kent. So they do a profile for us that works well with the supercharger. FN2 Civic Type R supercharger kit going out. Something interesting as well that's going on. Suzuki Hayabusa supercharger alternator cases. We've now sold 2, this one to America and this one to Australia, where guys want to put an auxiliary alternator onto a car solution. So as we've got a case with a hole in it, and we can put a sprocket on the outside, or they can put a sprocket or tooth belt or V-belt or whatever on the outside, put the drive through. And so, you know, we've sold a couple of these alternator cases for more than just supercharging. You know, people just contacted us, so will it do the job? Of course it will. It's just a drive and they can adapt it to suit their needs. But we've got another batch of 10 going through the machine shop in the next week or so. So we're doing all right for stock. Doing a kit for a guy with a GSXR 1000, and we're working on a tooth belt drive and a C3094 for his drag racing. So this is a first. We're doing a one-off prototype, so we've got a stainless steel bracket that we've adapted from something else that will fit the supercharger. We've got tooth belt here. I'm about to machine up a tooth belt because that goes in there, and then that will go through. And then we'll get a pulley on the top. So we'll have a tooth belt drive because Rotrex are doing as a solid input drive for their superchargers. So it will withstand the extra load caused by a tooth belt. Same as what we do with the Suzuki Hayabusa supercharger kits. We've got a tooth belt with those now. We've got the solid drive, but of course they're counterclockwise. This isn't counterclockwise direction. Nice little inlet plenum we've welded up. So these beautiful welding, he does such a nice job. He's a real artist when it comes to welding. Bits for the B-King we've got downstairs. We've got B-King kit to go on. Oh, that's CB1000. That's going ahead at the moment. So we've got CB1000 kit going out. We've got a bobber going out, bobber kit and forged pistons to go with the kit. So, yeah, that's going off to Australia. Got Gen 2 booster kit going out. That's almost complete with heavy duty studs, nuts, gaskets, etc, etc. So this will be boxed up shortly. Underneath, CBR 1000 supercharger kit. Look at this. These planning chambers are such a work of art. Look at that. Top ejectors go in there. This is the bottom that bolts onto the throttle bodies. So it's a really lovely piece. That goes that way, obviously. O-ring groove to seal it, bolts together. ECU sits on top, same as the factory. Yeah, really nice kit, really nice kit. Then going around the other side, what we've got here, shaft drive kit. So this is for a Honda Civic Type R shaft drive kit, which is completed on this row as well. So we've got these parts and all these parts here. The shaft goes right across the front of the engine. So the belt drive is this side, tooth belt drive to this bracket, and the supercharger fits this side. So we've got the supercharger sat there. This enables us to get the C38 supercharger under the bonnet, and it also gives us the opportunity to do a really lovely intercooler. And the tubes for the intercooler are this way. So lots of short tubes, so this gives us a minimal pressure drop across the core, and it works extremely well. It's a big intercooler, big tanks, 2.5 inch pipes. Works extremely well, gives us a lot of horsepower, this kit. You know, you're looking north of 400 horsepower. It's a very nice job. That should go out, maybe go out tomorrow with a bit of luck. What else have we got? Another booster kit there going out. That's another Gen 2, I believe. Yeah, that's a Gen 2 kit going out. So again, we get in there, as usual, we're flat out. Everybody's working at 10 tenths all the time these days. No time for slacking. No time for slacking, Tim, is there?
I wish.
Little order of breather filters. We've got a few of those. Right, well, we'll go downstairs and have a look, see what's going on downstairs. Oh, here we've got all the Rocket 3 kits parts are back from Cerakoting. Got that finish on there. So these kits, again, we're putting together as quickly as we can. We're just waiting for the carbon fibre inlets. You've probably seen those, but they're a lovely, lovely piece. So we go this way, and I'll show you those. Yeah, so this is the only one we have in stock at the moment, and this was a pre-production one. But that sits that way up, that goes up underneath the tank, meets up with the stock air box, and that goes to the supercharger. Weighs nothing. So unfortunately, they're not with us yet. They were meant to be with us today or tomorrow. We'll see. If it happens, great. We'll be able to crack on, get the jobs done, get the kits out, because everybody's champing at the bit for the kits as usual. Right, next. Yeah, let's have a look in here. So what time is it? Well, it's 11 o'clock. So Lee's busy knocking out Super Sport, Honda Civic Type R, FN2, intercooler and radiator. He's almost there. He's got to put some end plates on. A couple of pipes. He's already got this finished. So that'll be another kit on its way out very, very soon. In the dyno room, what we've got going on in the dyno room? So we've got Gordon's, not sure if it's a Westfield, but anyway, it's a kit car, and he's got CBR 1000. We should put our supercharger kit on, and then we've added to the kit, we've made a nice fat intercooler. These kits don't make a huge amount of boost, they make about £10, but with an intercooler we can run some really good numbers. It's all been custom fabricated down here because the supercharger was going to foul the chassis, so we've made different parts to get it all in. It's been quite a long haul to get this together. It hasn't been straightforward, but we should be fired up. I know it runs. Now it's just down to me to map it, and hopefully I'll get to map it this afternoon. That's the plan anyway. Nothing goes to plan, but that's the plan. Still got Jay's Rocket 3. That's ready to go. 340 horsepower. It's on the money.
Tested by MCN as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wait for a feature on that.
Yeah, there'll be a feature with MCN from last week, which really went well. This Triumph Rocket 3 is in for some brake upgrades. It's been with us a little while now, trying to find out, but we've got some EBC double H brake pads going onto the Brembos, and we'll probably put new brake rotors on as well from EBC. Although we did this some while ago, customers saying now he's got 280 horsepower instead of 80 horsepower, that it doesn't stop. Well, there's always the possibility it's never going to stop when you've got half a ton of motorbike. So trying to upgrade this, the Brembos definitely helped. The brake lever is much better than, generally Rocket 3s. You can pull the lever to the bars. This is a lot better than stock, but he still wants it upgrading, so we've got that to sort out. Hope to get that done in the next few days, to be honest. Super Boosters here, waiting for the next bit of fun. So might be going to the Run What You Brung at Santa Pod on Saturday. It'd be nice to do that because we've geared it up and it's easier to launch now than with the lower gearing that we've done before when we did the 9.3. Got Billy's FXDR, which is just there to do some fine tuning on the engine management for the top end. He's been with us a little while too, but Billy has not been well, but he's now recovered from trying to destroy his knees by hitting a car head on. He said to me he's back at work and he's feeling pretty fit now. So we'll give him that back, get it out the door. Yeah, so that's all of what's going on in this room. We'll come back to this later today maybe, if I can get some result from it. Suzuki B-King has come all the way from France. We've started putting the supercharger kit on. So he's already had the engine out, fitted the spacer under the barrel. There's a spacer, you can see that, the 2mm spacer. So we've got the compression lowered. We'll buzz the supercharger kit on. We're going to have a play with the intercooler stroke plenum chamber, see what we can do to make the best of this. Not 100% happy with not having an intercooler, just having a plenum. We might go charge cooled, we might not. A little bit of work in progress there. Bobber, we've got the bobber down here. So the bobber, we're waiting for the new exhaust to turn up from Declavit. That should be here today. Then we can drop the exhaust on and finish a revised intake. We've gone much bigger on the plenum chamber, and we're putting, instead of the small pipes we had up here on the previous kit, we're now putting bigger pipes, which should give us more horsepower, because it's been quite restrictive. As much as it went from 73 horsepower to about 108, there's a potential for it to be up around 140 horsepower. So if we can give it to our customer, we will. It's intercooled, air intake's here, exhaust system comes round underneath here. It's a nice stainless system that Declavit do, and it's very good value for money. Yeah, so it's all in black anodized. The new Rotrex supercharger pulleys look quite neat. It's a big improvement over their steel pulleys that they used to make. It does make things a bit tighter because it's a little bit wider than the steel pulleys, and that's caught us out on a couple of occasions now where our kits have had to be modified because the pulley's a bit wider. Ignition lock, ignition switch has to come out a little bit. We have a little bracket here, so that sits a little bit further out so we can get the plenum chamber in. Be nice to see how much more horsepower we can get out of this. I'm looking forward to it, but we need an exhaust first. So let's get that on. We've got our own exhaust system for the Thruxton, but it's not right for the bobber. The cross pipe and the angles are just a little bit different. And the Declavit system was the quick option to get him back on the road, because we're far too busy to be making exhaust systems at the moment. My Rocket 3 looking a bit sad. We will get round to rebuilding it and putting it back on the road. But hey, we're always developing stuff. We've got some new cams to try, and we've got a new exhaust system to try as well. We're working on an exhaust system, but we're just so busy with customer jobs, it's really difficult to do any development work at the moment. It's just ridiculous. The manpower isn't there to employ. There's not many people around who have got the skill set to be useful in my business. Really, we train them up when they come in, if we can get them. Yeah, so we've got the B-King all the way from France, and we've also got GSX-R 1000, and that's come all the way from the south of France. The guy rode it here all the way from south of France, well over 1,000 miles. And we're supercharging that for him over the next couple of months. Gen 1 booster at the back. That's him for engine work and supercharger. So it'd be nice to get that done. Jack's R1, that's ready to go back on the dyno. Yeah, we had to wait for a new throttle position sensor. We got dodgy throttle position sensor on it. We've got that fitted now. So again, a bit of my dyno time to get this finished. Road King, That's just sat there ready to go. When the weather's good, I'll probably ride that to and from home. Just get some miles on it. It's just perfectly sat there, ready to go. Of course, we've got the Super Booster, No.1 Super Booster, and its engine. So we're on the way with the engine. We've got to pull this down, put the rods and pistons in, and put it back in the chassis, get the supercharger kit on it. And I suppose the other thing that's quite of interest is these babies. So we do a supercharger kit which fits, well, the CNC parts fit the bobber and the Thruxton and the Speed Twin, but Triumph in their wisdom, when they brought out the RS versions, they changed the alternator and the alternator windings, mounting positions and diameters, etc, etc. So all the detail in here for the throttle position, for the ignition pickup, wiring, the wiring support and the alternator, all these had to be changed. So we're now doing another version. We're doing these are for the RS, so we've got 5 of these for the RS. We've got to flip that over, do the other side, and all the R parts, the Thruxton R parts, will still fit the kit, but it's just this detail in the middle that was different. So we've scanned it, we've drawn it, and now we've machined it. So we'll be able to cater for any year Thruxton or bobber, depending on which model it is, whether it's an R or an RS, etc. So it's good to get that done. It's been taking a while for us to get round to doing that, but that was give the RS owners the opportunity to run our supercharger. Load of these are all the pulleys for V-rod kits. So, you know, there's a few V-rod kits. We still sell a colossal number of V-rod kits. So what we've got here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20 pulleys being made for V-rod kits. So that's Ford Z-Tech brackets. We do a supercharger bracket set for the Ford 2-litre Z-Tech, and we do a Duratech as well, but that's for the Z-Tech. Pullers here for supercharger kits. We start off with a blank in steel, and then we machine that so it does the job for the Hayabusa kit. So lots and lots and lots going on at the moment. You might like to see a bit of machining going on. What we got here? Right, mate. So Richard's side, the second side of the Thruxton RS brackets. Overseen it, make sure it's doing its job proper.
How long does it take?
What's the cycle time on this, mate?
It's the first one.
First one? What do you reckon, about half an hour, 40 minutes? An hour and a half. There you go. Yeah, so, and the other side was what, about the same?
3 hours.
3 hours for the other side. So to make this bracket, the total time is about 4.5 hours. So it doesn't come cheap. You've got to machine these parts. The billets are now a lot of money. Aluminium's gone up a hell of a lot in price. So we try to keep the prices competitive on the supercharger kits, but you can understand where the costs go when you've got 4.5 hours machining, a piece of billet that's probably £200, and that's just one part of the whole kit.
Have we got a billet to have a quick look at?
No, we haven't. We've got billets for the guards, but all the billets have been machined now. For the 5 billets have been machined, but these will be the belt guards. So that's a small bit.
Yeah.
That's the billet for the back of the oil tank on the main case. The main cases that have been machined now. So there's a nice little bracket that sorry, a nice little cover that covers the back of the oil tank. So they're the machine parts, and then we've got everything else is fabricated. Yeah, like I say, that's the different covers. See, that's the alternator's mounted on this one, and the ignition pickup, and on the RS, Triumph in their wisdom decided to change it all. So these are in a different position. They're bigger and that's smaller, as you can see. Just to make our life more difficult. Well, I think that'll do for the moment.
Yeah. That kind of brings up speed with everything.
Yeah. Just got to get a finger out and get the jobs out the door. Yeah. If you like what we do a like, comment and subscribe.